Everybody hit the black and blue memo pretty well. Solid job.
Welcome, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. If you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Commissioner Wiki, would you lead us in prayer?
Sure. Lord, we come to you tonight. We give this meeting to you. We ask that you would give the commissioners wisdom and discernment as we make decisions for the city of Sturgis. Just pray for a good evening. This in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call. City Clerk.
Commissioner Burr.
Here.
Commissioner Boring.
Here.
Commissioner Wiki.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Harrington.
Here.
Commissioner Abs.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mullins. Mayor Perez.
Here. Okay, tonight we got a couple of proclamations. Mr. Andrew Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. The first one, I'm doing my best Chris MacArthur impression because he's not with us tonight, but we included in the packet a proclamation declaring Friday, April 24th as Arbor Day in the city of Sturgis. The issuance of the proclamation is part of the ongoing requirements for Sturgis to be recognized as a Tree City USA. If you'd like to read it, we can, but otherwise we can move forward.
We're good.
Okay. The second proclamation, if I may, is the 2026 Fair Housing Month proclamation. This is part of our Fair Housing Plan adopted to meet qualifications for community development block grant programs, among other things. And we're working to promote fair housing by issuing this proclamation honoring April as Fair Housing Month. Fair Housing Month recognizes and promotes the Fair Housing Act, enacted on April 11th, 1968, and enshrined into federal law, with the goal of eliminating racial segregation and ending housing discrimination in the United States. You have a copy in your packet. Again, if you'd like us to read it, we can, but otherwise,
You're good. All right. Moving on with the agenda. Is the visitor section. If there's a visitor that'd like to make a public comment for items not listed on the agenda, please walk forward to the podium. I see none. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
So we have a motion
Support.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next is the approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next is unfinished business, and we have none tonight. So we'll move on into new business tonight, starting with the mowing, trimming, leaf removal at city properties. Mr. Thompson-Korski.
Evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Welcome, Tom.
So included in your packet was mowing, trimming contracts for the Department of Public Services, Electric Department. Mowing contract, which expired the end of 2025 season. New bid packets were issued on March 12th. Bids were opened on March 30th with 6 responding contractors. The bids cover mowing, trimming, and optional leaf removal at city-owned properties for a period of 3 years, from 2026, 2027, 2028. Contractors submitted per year mowing prices, so the city pays only those services when performed. Certain electric department sites are included annual bids for fertilizing, weed control, and grub treatments. Bid results were divided between DPS and the electric sites. Included were executive summaries and detailed spreadsheets for each year in your packets. Some sites were excluded from bidding because they have been maintained by city crews in the past. There are some sites being converted to low maintenance, no mow grass, or historically been city maintained. One electric site, the hydro plant, received no bids and will continue to be maintained by city staff. Based on the low bids, staff recommends awarding contracts to 5 contractors: Cutter's Edge Lawn Care and Maintenance LLC, New Creations Landscape, Rickett Lawn Care, Finish Line Property Solutions LLC, Craven Lawn Snow. Cutter's Edge also recommended for certain as-needed leaf pickup services. Several leaf pickup bids were significantly higher than previous years, and staff is not recommending awarding those at this time. Cutter's Edge operates within the city of Sturgis and qualifies for the city of Sturgis vendor under the local purchasing policy. Although some of their bids fall within 5% of the lowest bid, staff notes that commission direction would be required to apply local vendor preference. This is the first time we will work with Finish Line Property LLC and Craven Lawn and Snow. The other contractors we have worked with previously. So, if there's any questions, I would be happy to entertain.
Tom, I just have a question for the commission. Did everyone understand the spreadsheet he put together? Because I had a couple questions and I was able to ask Andrew on Monday to clarify, and it made a lot more sense to me, but just making sure all of you have.
Yeah,
Okay.
it took a while to figure it out.
Any questions for Tom?
It's detailed, and I apologize, but
I've got a few. I thought that the commission was going to agree to, after the contract was over, after the first 3 years, that the city would retain their properties and mow them themselves.
well, we have taken back several properties this year.
Yeah, I understand that, but we didn't take back all of them.
We did not, and right now it's based on labor forces. So that's why we put out another 3-year contract for certain sites.
Well, explaining labor forces, don't we have 3 full-time employees?
You have 3 full-time employees in parks and cemetery, and our time is consumed at Frank's, Spence, and the cemetery.
Well, you also have seasonal now.
We've been running seasonals, but that seasonal labor force is, what we have on staff right now are retired individuals. The younger college-age students have not applied, and we've been seeing fewer and fewer over the last 2 seasons.
But you had quite a few last year, correct?
We did not. We
You
started,
did have- You had 9 seasonal, did you not?
we did.
Okay. So my question is why, there again, as most of you know, I did that job for 22 years as a superintendent. And I did it with 2 full-time people and the rest seasonal. So you have an extra full-time person, which is an extra 2,040 hours. So you also have less full interments that you have to worry about digging graves, so that's diminished. You're basically are contracting out all the weed control, grub treatments. There again, we used to take and maintain all the fields, the soccer field, the baseball fields over at Wall. At that time, we were also doing the fields that were at Spence, on North Centerville there. And on top of that, we were extra to do other projects as well. So I don't understand if we have 3 full-time employees now, and I understand the difficulty sometimes of getting seasonal people who want to work, but it is early yet. And a lot of the kids that, or a lot of the people that work, will be working from colleges are not out yet, and so that should increase as the weather goes on. So, that being said, I would just assume, I think it would be cost savings for the city to do it in-house. We've already proven in the past that it worked for the cemetery, and I don't see it not working for the parks. That's my professional opinion when I was working here. The only other question I had, you're going to put no mow grass to be established at the Michigan lift station?
That is correct.
Is there a reason why we're just going to put it there?
It is easy because that site was just under construction last fall, and part of that contract was to put it in no-mow because we were going to have more property exposed and available to put and establish a no-mow again. We already have a site established. We established back in 2008, 2009 down at the Fawn River Crossings, and staff at the treatment plant maintains that once a year. I need to correct myself, Commissioner Burr. There's 2 full-timers plus the supervisor at Parks and Cemetery right now.
Is he not full-time? Is he a working supervisor?
He's a working supervisor, but we've also increased his administration load too.
No further
So he
questions at
has
this time?
still 3 people, 3 full-time individuals at Parks and Cemetery.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Tom?
Just a couple follow-ups. The outsourced mowing portion of this stuff, I know we talked a long time ago about the cost to do these, to perform these services. And at some point, I don't remember what it was, but it was several years ago that I remember us talking about which ones would make sense to do outsourcing versus in-house for cost. And we actually found several properties, I thought, that were more cost-effective having someone else do them than their own.
Yeah.
Is that
I mean, there's sites like Auditorium, City Hall, where there's extra work that I would outsource regardless. Some of the sites that we've taken back are the larger open spaces where we can utilize our 144-inch zero turn. And last fall, we also picked up a new 20 or a 17-foot finish mower for open spaces such as the airport. We increased that by 2 feet, so we're looking at, and there's another one on the docket as part of the airport grant funds. So that's going to give us an additional dedicated mower for the airport plus a 17-foot mower for our large open spaces.
And we budget every year for the grass cutting operations, correct?
Correct.
Whether they're in-house or whether they're
Correct.
outsourced.
Correct.
And are you within that budget, planning to be within that budget this year and looking like it will be? I mean, I know there's extra mows in per mow, but with all things said and done, that's...
Based on 30 weeks, we are going to be within budget.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for Tom?
Just a comment on the City of Sturgis vendor part of it. I really don't think the way this is broken up, that it should apply in this case.
And which portion, Commissioner?
What you had mentioned
The
earlier
local
about
preference
Oh, the
policy.
local
City of
preference,
Sturgis local vendor.
Yeah,
That's the map.
Yeah, the way it's broke up, I don't think that really should apply in this case. If it was one big bid, yeah, but not cut up like this.
it was, I just put it in there because the bids were so close, and the one vendor is a city local vendor, so.
Yeah.
it's in the policy, and I just wanted to throw it out for commission to be.
I might know something about that policy. I might remember when it was put in place. I can remember times when local vendors in the city of Sturgis would come to city commission meetings not real happy, and we didn't have a policy. So I might say the chamber would like to encourage this commission to put one in place. Didn't tell them what it should be. But the fact is, when you have a city taxpayer, and it's commission prior, I don't know if anyone was on the commission at that time, I actually don't think anyone here was, found that reasonable, that you're under the 5%, that it's reasonable to award it to someone who's already paid taxes. So,
And just to be clear, it would have to be incumbent upon that person to match the lower bid. And the reason we kind of brought it as a commission direction item is somewhat because of what Mark just said. The way it's written in the policy, it applies to any bids over 30,000. Because of how things got broken up, it's like, okay, how do you want us to apply it in this case? So that's the.
I was not on the commission at the time, but I remember when it happened, and I was fully in support of it then, and I am now. I just don't think it necessarily applies in this instance.
over a 3-year period.
Yeah, over a 3-year period. And what are we gonna judge it on? The 10 that he lost out on? Or all of it, or what? So, no, it's just, no. That's the only thing I had to say.
Okay. I don't, Tom, I don't have a question for you, just a comment. I would like to see them all back in-house, but that being said, I do like that you showed what you're bringing back, so, as challenging as it might be, I see that you're at least trying, so thank you for that.
It's an attempt.
Well, I was kind of, I mean, it's a pretty long list. There's a
long
lot.
list.
There's a lot to do there. So,
It's gonna take coordination on our part to make this happen. And we looked at properties that we felt we could efficiently get in and out. And they were also sites that weren't forward-facing, so sites along US 12, I contracted out.
No further questions for Tom?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the DPS mowing bids for trimming and maintenance of city properties for 2026, 2027, and 2028 from Cutter's Edge Lawn Care and Maintenance, LLC, New Creations Landscape Management, Ricketts Lawn Service, Finish Line Property Solutions, LLC, and Craven Lawn Snow as presented.
So we have a motion
second.
and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the electric mowing bids for trimming and maintenance of city properties for 2026 and 2027 and 2028 from Cutter's Edge Lawn Care and Maintenance, LLC, New Creations Landscape Management, Ricketts Lawn Service, and Craven Lawn Snow as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the bids for as-needed leaf pickup service of city properties for 2026, 2027, and 2028 from Cutter's Edge Lawn Care and Maintenance, LLC, as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you.
Tom.
I noticed right away.
Nice pickup on the dates there. Next on the agenda is a public safety building windows replacement and doors. Mr. Danruth. Welcome, Dan.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Come to you tonight for your consideration, the replacement of the building windows and some of the doors at the public safety building next door. Included as part of the 2026 capital improvement plan was the replacement of the windows and 3 entry doors at the Department of Public Safety. Staff developed the bid specification with the assistance of several commercial glass suppliers who visited the site and discussed options. The bid specification was published on February 26th on BidNet and emailed to several commercial glass companies. We completed a pre-bid walkthrough on March 11th. 5 companies attended, where we took the opportunity to answer questions and allow the contractors to become familiar with the site and the conditions for the project. A bid opening took place on March 30th here at City Hall in this very room. 4 bids were received, and those bids ranged from $78,282.37 to $216,000. That bid tabulation is included. Staff published that bid tabulation, emailed it to the vendors, and began interviews with the 2 low bidders. I requested references from the low bidder, C.A. Harris Construction Company, also known as doing business as Sky Valley Group. He's a general contractor out of the Bluffton, Indiana area. We've not had any relationship with him in the past. At that time, Alan Harris, owner of the Sky Valley Group, communicated that he was planning on subcontracting the project to a local construction company. There was some concern about the price between the bid from Sky Valley and the next high bidder, Reliable Glass. So we had a conversation. We'd asked Mr. Harris to review his bid with his subcontractor one more time to make sure that they were covering everything. After that review, it was determined that that bid was not complete and not going to meet the scope as defined and discussed at the pre-bid meeting. For that reason, we're recommending that that bid be rejected as incomplete. Staff did review the bid with Reliable Glass installers and determined that it was complete and acceptable, and is recommending that that bid from Reliable Glass installers, recommending that bid for in the amount of $134,440 to complete the project. The project was budgeted for $300,000 this fiscal year. I note too, the budget for that, we developed that a couple of years ago when this was starting to be added to the project, and we had someone come down and did a high level overlook, and at that time they were telling us 250, so that's why we put it at 300. So I'm really excited to be that much under budget.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any dealings with this particular company at all, or?
Reliable Glass?
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, we've awarded them the contract to do the auditorium entrance package as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay.
Any other questions for Dan?
I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the bid of Reliable Glass installers for the public safety building windows and doors project in the amount of $134,440 as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, Dan.
Hey, just one thing, Dan, before you go, I noticed that next year's fiscal budget was $100,000 budgeted for the exterior overhead doors. We're expecting the same kind of thing.
No pressure. Next on the agenda is the wastewater treatment plant main loop. Mr. Andrew Cook.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. Now I'm doing my best Barry Cox impression because Barry's on vacation, but in order to kind of move this project forward, he asked that we bring it before you tonight. So one of the projects in the city's Drinking Water State Revolving Loan Fund, or DWSRF project plan, if you recall, was to eliminate 2,450-foot long dead-end 6-inch water main that currently serves the wastewater treatment plant. So Ken has the map up there on the screen. Roughly in that red box is the area where that water line runs to serve the treatment plant. We had approved project design in July of 2024. That was in preparation of what we were very hopeful was receiving that DWSRF loan. Unfortunately, that loan funding was not received. We did not score enough points in the grant or in the loan criteria to achieve that, and we ended up halting design in October 2025. We were about 95% design complete. We had about $20,000 left on that task order to project completion. So this project is needed to fulfill water reliability at wastewater treatment plant. The dead end main has had previous water main breaks, and shutting it down the main to complete repairs presents operational problems at wastewater treatment plant. I'm sure Tom can speak to some of that if we need him to. Dead end water mains in general also present issues, and that's one of the goals of the water system reliability study is to eliminate those dead ends. So this is the longest dead end we have in the water system, and it's a priority for us to eliminate. Based on previous cost estimates for construction and anticipated percentages for construction and inspection and contingencies, we're estimating cost of the project is going to be around $367,000 in that general vicinity, and then there'll be added cost elements that would basically cover the remaining $20,000 in the design budget that we hadn't expended previously. That's to complete the design, do bidding, and then get our water main construction permit from Eagle. Project was included in the 2025-2026 budget, again anticipating the DWSRF loan. We had a number in there of $252,000. And again, that was the anticipated funding source, was that DWSRF loan. Not achieving that, what we're looking at is the bond issuance from the St. Joseph Street reconstruction project, as well as the North Clay North Park lead service line replacement. We still have some usable funds remaining, and conservatively, Sadie, I believe we said that was about $500,000. Yeah, and this remainder is mostly due to cost savings on the project, or the two projects, I should say, and then unexpended contingency funds. We've spoken to bond counsel and advisors to make sure that we can use those funds for this project. They said we can. So we're looking for commission direction to do just that, use the remaining bond funds to pursue and complete this project. Obviously, any agreements with engineers that are needed, final bids for construction of the project would be brought back to the City Commission during future meetings for final approvals. But this is just giving us direction to move forward so we can start completing design and working through those processes. Happy to try and answer any questions I can.
I have a question. Just a numbers question.
Sure.
So based on the cost, we're looking in excess of $400,000 for what we want to do on this, roughly, with everything extra.
Sure.
Now, if we don't use, okay, so we're anticipating on using that $500,000 for the entire thing?
Correct.
Okay. Then what about the $252 that was budgeted? Where
So
does that go?
The
in-
$252 was budgeted, but the funding source that we were going to use to pay for that was a DWSRF loan. So we're
that-
not getting those.
So
loan
in my
proceeds.
terms, it would be just erase it,
Yes.
like
correct.
it never existed.
Correct.
That's what
Yep.
I wanted clarification on that. Thank you.
How many more of these dead ends do we have?
That is a question I
I mean,
cannot.
is there,
I cannot answer. I am not Barry Cox and cannot answer
just
that
like a
one.
handful, like 3 or 4, or a dozen?
No, I
do you
mean,
know?
there's going to be different stretches of town that have dead ends, particularly like, I mean, when you're running up to areas of economic development, for example, you know, we'll run a dead end water line to the end of a cul-de-sac. We're not necessarily looping it around. Now, Eagle's making us do that with new water main. If you recall, you know, when we did the project to extend utilities up by, not Family Dollar, Dollar General, up there. We were required
North
to
of
come back.
Memorial.
Yeah, we ran the water initially up to serve them, but we were required by Eagle within 5 years to complete the loop around to the cul-de-sac in the economic development area up there. So that's something that they're making us do more and more of. And again, this is the biggest one. It's because it's, you know, it's serving wastewater treatment plant, and there's, you know, need to have good and continuous water service there for the process. It's an important one. So others we will address, you know, as we're able to through other projects, but this one was one there that we didn't want to wait on, and if we had the resources to be able to do it, we felt it was important to move forward.
Was there something else out there by the ball fields when we did that construction project, or was that just increasing?
Similar situation. So the latest utility project, the one that we did last year, was a connection for a water loop. So we took it up to the to the roundabout, and then they made us connect
Oh,
back.
yeah, okay.
Yep,
I was just curious, I'll talk to Barry about that again.
that's correct.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions for Andrew?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve use of remaining bond proceeds for the wastewater treatment plant water main project.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda is the Angola Street Access Ramp easement. Mr. Will Pritchard, welcome, Will.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm going to do my best Barry Cox now. So this is typically something Barry would bring, but he is unavailable. So Clark Logic owns the property at 506 Prairie, which extends all the way to Magnolia, which is where the ramp that we're talking about tonight is located. On that picture right there, it's the ramp right in the center. So basically with that ramp, that's a new ramp. They had an existing ramp that's been there for, I think Barry said it's been there for 2 decades. 2024, they removed the existing ramp and built a new ramp. The new ramp unfortunately extended into the right-of-way and made it unsafe. So they
This is the old ramp.
yeah, that's the old ramp. So the new ramp extended out several more feet into the road. So they put a new handrail on it. But it came to our attention, we went out and talked with Clark Logic. They've agreed to remove that ramp and turn the ramp sideways so it's safer for their people to gain access to it, which is this new ramp. So we were working with Clark Logic and Mostrom Land Surveying to come up with legal descriptions. And that's what we're here tonight for, to ask for permission to grant this easement that would allow Clark Logic to have the new ramp in the right-of-way. From staff side, we think this is a much safer avenue for everybody, because before when you came out, you end up into the roadway. So helps the guys back here plowing snow, because that was the other issue they ran into. The handrails were out into the roadway. So happy to answer any questions on this.
Any questions for Will?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the easement for 506 Prairie Avenue as presented, contingent upon city attorney preparing the final easement document.
So we have a motion
Support.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you,
Thank
Will.
you.
Next on the agenda is the engineering department staffing. Mr. Andrew Cook.
Thank you once again, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. Now we come to the portion that, because Barry isn't here, we're going to talk about him behind his back. No, I just wanted to offer the City Commission a little bit of an update on our search for a new city engineer and kind of where we're at this point. We had, as you know, been looking with Barry planning retirement for a city engineer for quite some time. We'd advertised for quite some time for an engineer, kind of a one-for-one replacement of Barry with a civil engineering degree. We found that was going to be very difficult. We were not receiving applications that met those qualifications. We ended up putting together a job description for an engineering project manager and have had that out for bid. Difference between the two positions being, really just the formal engineering degree and the ability to be a PE or a full engineer. What that does for us is takes away some of the versatility of the position, obviously from a technical standpoint, mostly related to things like site plan reviews and having some of the ability to do like stormwater calculations and things like that, some of the high technical stuff. We have advertised that position. We have found a qualified candidate that we have significant interest in. Want to move forward with that candidate, but wanted to at least talk to the commission about kind of the impact of that. One, this being the concept. From a salary standpoint, starting salary will be roughly in range with where we've been at with budget and positions, but it will likely include the need for more third-party staff or third-party review of certain things. In particular, things like site plans, stormwater calculations in particular again. May need some more, some more work with like a 425 agreement, writing a legal description type of scenario, those types of things. So you may see some budgetary impact moving forward with that, and having to look at professional services a little bit closer from a budgetary standpoint. The other aspect is something that we talked about. Gosh, I forgot when we talked about it, but it was around the time we were looking at some of these staff positions, and that's an overlap to allow for some training. At the time, we talked about 2 months as a general overlap time frame, and that's something that we did with the city controller position, be looking to do again with the city engineering position. At that point, we had pretty clear direction from the commission, but I did want to bring it up one more time before we move forward. So happy to try and answer questions.
Andrew, I know you don't have all the time in the world to do this, but we've known about this issue and been talking about it for quite a while. I have to assume that other municipalities our size and who have similar services or what's the better word? Similar departments under their belt are going through the same issue we are. Have you been able to take temperature of other municipalities to see, are they doing the same sort of third-party escalation of services, and
Not specifically. I know that other cities have a host of solutions to how they handle engineering and services. Many of them will use third-party services, but I haven't specifically talked with a large group of them. But
do most municipalities our size have a city engineer or equivalent FTE that you've seen, I guess? And same difficult question, I guess, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hazard a full guess as to what the percentage is or anything like that.
I know it's a tough hiring time for that position, probably all
Yeah,
across the nation.
We have been out for a number of rounds, long period of time, looking, and it is not an easy get, for sure. Unless you're looking at drastically different salary structures, which then have impacts on the whole organization from a salary structure. So,
Yeah. Thanks.
Andrew, do you have an anticipation start date? And if so, does that start Barry's 60-day notice?
I would anticipate that it could be relatively soon, and I believe that yes, it will.
Does this position, is it possible for him to get to that level if he would want to, or?
I mean,
or-
everything's possible. If he had a desire to do that, it's possible. I know background in project management and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of his wheelhouse. So I don't know that he's going to be interested in doing that. But I know the position or the person we're looking at is one that's going to be able to bring himself up to speed, I think, very quickly. Without getting into too many details.
Is it also possible to even contract with certain things with Barry?
Possible.
Okay.
At least in the short term. I don't know what Barry's desire and all that is.
So you just want,
I mostly wanted to make you aware, make sure that everybody was kind of comfortable with the direction you're heading, so.
yeah, do you need consensus? Yeah. Okay.
Just one question.
Sure.
Part of it, you had mentioned like the stormwater retention and runoff and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Shouldn't that be done by the architect before they submit plans?
The architect does do it. We have to verify it, though, to make sure their calculations are accurate and correct.
Okay.
So that's what the review is for. Yep.
And that's an engineer or an engineering firm doing
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And the
Somebody who
project
can-
manager wouldn't be able to-
Somebody who can correctly interpret the calculations, which are not simple by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Next is commissioner and staff comments. We'll start with Sadie.
None tonight.
All right. Mr. Rhodes?
If you haven't seen Barb down at B&D Travel, and you don't have to go if you're not going to Germany, but if you are going to Germany, go see her. She may need some information from you. Okay.
Okay. Tom, you got anything? Director Benazzi?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Will? Dan?
Yeah, Josh Blues Saturday Night at the Auditorium, I just texted JD, confirmed, we are at 867 tickets sold for that show, so we're just shy to sell out.
Nice.
100 seats left, so if you haven't got a ticket, get it now, they're going fast, so.
Nice, cool. Mike,
Yes,
you got anything?
just a reminder, coming up May 21st is the United Way Radiothon. We hope everybody can stop out at some time or multiple times. Because if you've ever been to a Kelly Hostetler production, there's plenty of food, and we don't want to take it home with us.
Great. Anything from the city attorney?
Nothing right, thank you.
All right. Anything?
Just
Warren?
want to, yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to mention styrofoam recycling coming up this Saturday, April 11th, 9 a.m. to 12. And I think that's all I have.
All right. Commissioner Harrington?
No, nothing to add, because I'll be scanning tickets on Saturday night. Saturday morning, I'll be doing styrofoam recycling, so hope to see all you there, at either place or both, whichever.
All right. Commissioner Epps?
Nothing to do.
Commissioner Bohr?
No, good.
Commissioner Wick?
A couple things. Quick question for Dan. The Doyle roof, when does that begin?
The bid opening for that is the 20th of this month.
That's just big.
That's just the bid?
That, yeah.
Okay. There's a interesting, when you're going around the track and you're weaving through buckets, it makes it interesting. And then the other one, Ken, I don't know if we need to open a bond to be able to get some Coke Zero back here, but I was just wondering if- I don't know if
You know
that's
that
possible.
no, that's Diet, okay, so you'd prefer Coke Zero?
Coke
as opposed
Zero,
to Diet,
yes.
okay.
That was
All
all.
right.
That was all.
I've got other preferences.
And a sub to go along with it.
Commissioner Miller?
Well, it hasn't been mentioned yet, so a humble hail to the victors. It's great to see our Wolverines win the national championship. And Michigan hockey will be out on the ice. A lot may not know that, but they're going to look to succeed my Western Michigan Broncos as hockey national champions Thursday and possibly Saturday. So it's good to see some Michigan teams win, and I root for Big Ten loyalty, and it's a good win.
Anything to do to buy a championship, I'm out for it.
There's a lot of money involved now. A lot of money involved. You too can enter the transfer portal.
No. But I tell you what, I am a Notre Dame fan, most of you, all of you know, but I remember the last time rooting for Michigan was during the Fab Five era. And then I did actually root for Michigan the other day, so, but I'm still loyal to Notre Dame, regardless.
It's okay. We're waiting for you in the Big Ten. Come on over. Other than that, have a good evening.
Commissioner Burke?
Nothing of consequence, thank you.
Commissioner Smith?
Yeah, tomorrow is National Unicorn Day. Now, just one interesting little bit of information I found out about that. There's a cave drawing over in some cave in France someplace that's got a drawing of a unicorn that's 53,000 years old. So people have been seeing them that long. Where are they?
They didn't survive the flood.
Yeah, that could be. That's it.
Vice Mayor?
Just a humble Google. And with this, I'll say, be kind to the unkind people. Those are the ones that need it most. Let's all be kind to one another.
All right, we got interesting temperatures. It's cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon, so hopefully the warm weather stays. Hope everyone has a good rest of your work week. And we will now,
I move we go into closed session for the purpose of discussing purchase of property and to conduct a periodic personnel evaluation at the request of the employee.
Second.
roll call.
Commissioner Burr,
Yes.
Commissioner Wiki,
Yes.
Commissioner Boring,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrington,
Yes.
Commissioner Abs,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins.
Yes.
Mayor Perez.
Yes.
We're in closed session.
All right, I'm gonna go to the, take a potty break, anyone?
Sure.
Before we, 5-minute break. let's check. YouTube.
Yep, looks like we're live. We're back in open session.
I move we approve the purchase agreement as presented.
Do I have a
Second.
motion? Support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right.
And with that, we are adjourned.
I will work on getting, or Jesse will work on getting that purchase agreement buttoned up, and we'll convey it to, I guess, about 15.
Hey, Aaron, you want these?